Hey there everyone, what's up and welcome back to another video on Streaming Star. Whether it's original horror treats or some new takes on familiar favorites, the near end of 2020 is giving more movie lovers no shortage of selections in the horror genre, especially when it comes to those available on Netflix, as the streaming giant has quite a strong rotating library of spine-chilling films. Let's have a look at the top 10 new scary Netflix movies. But before we begin, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss out on anything. Alright, let's get to it. Number 10. Rebecca. Releasing digitally on Netflix on 21st October 2020, Rebecca is a British romantic thriller film based on the 1938 novel of the same name, and stars Lily James and Armie Hammer as the Englishman, Maxim De Winter during her holiday in Monte Carlo after marrying him, and stars Lily James and Armie Hammer as the lead roles. The plot revolves around a young, naive American woman who meets a wealthy Englishman, Maxim De Winter, during her holiday in Monte Carlo. After marrying him and becoming the new Mrs. De Winter, she soon realizes that her husband's mansion in Cornwall could possibly be haunted by the spirit of his seemingly perfect first wife, Rebecca, who died in a boating accident a year before the new Mrs. De Winter met Maxim. Ben Wheatley, the director of the film, received some praise regarding the horror sequence of the film, and despite the fact that this movie has mixed reviews, it's still worth mentioning on this list. Number 9. The Babysitter Killer Queen. As much awaited sequel to the 2017 film The Babysitter, this American comedy horror movie arrived on Netflix in September 2020 and stars Judah Lewis as Cole, a junior high school student, and Emily Lind as Melanie, his childhood best friend. 2 years after defeating a satanic cult led by his babysitter, Bee, Cole finds himself in turbulence when he realizes he has to outsmart the evil forces once again after they unexpectedly return. The film also stars Bella Thorne, who plays the role of Ellison, a resurrected cult member. Number 8. The Paramedic. Next on the list is The Paramedic, a Spanish thriller released by Netflix in September 2020. This creepy and truly dark film is best suited for avid horror fans, as it offers something different from the rest of the concepts in the genre. The Paramedic follows the story of Angel Hernandez, a paramedic who later gets confined to a wheelchair due to his partial paralysis following an accident, and as tragedy strikes, he turns into a terrifying and truly horrific person. The movie only gets darker as the plot progresses. Be prepared to shiver every time you hear the sound of an ambulance and think of this disturbing, scary film. Number 7. The Devil All the Time. Often considered the second scariest film set in Appalachia, The Devil All the Time is based on the novel of the same name by Donald Pollock, who's also the film's narrator, featuring a newly oddball accent to add to the heartthrob Robert Pattinson's growing collection and a gritty performance from Tom Holland. This movie is a hair-raising tale about how men seek out monsters in stories, but often have something much more sinister hiding inside themselves. Number 6. We Summon the Darkness. Starring Alexandra Daddario, Johnny Knoxville, and Ken Johnson, this American horror thriller tells the tale of three best friends who cross paths with sadistic murderers after they travel to a secluded home to party. Due to high demand, We Summon the Darkness was released digitally in the United States in April 2020, although it was not available on Netflix until August 8. Thanks to its appealing cast and praiseworthy execution, the film has received several positive reviews. This psycho thriller will definitely pull the rug from under you, and that too in a shivery, sly manner. Number 5. The Platform. Next on the list is The Platform, a Spanish science fiction horror film that won the People's Choice Award for Midnight Madness before securing a streaming deal with Netflix and releasing on the site in 2020. The concept behind the film is undeniably clever, as it takes place in the futuristic setting called The Hole, best described as a prison hundreds of floors tall, where people are placed on floors two at a time. the viewer's attention is drawn to Goreng, who volunteers to enter the prison to quit smoking without fully understanding what he was in for. This high-concept horror film mostly received positive reviews due to its captivating and inventive concept alongside the crowd-pleasing surprises. No wonder the platform was watched by 56 million households over its first 4 weeks of release, as revealed by Netflix. Number 4. 1BR. 1BR, an American horror film, initially premiered at Fantasia International Film Festival in July 2019. Initially had limited theatrical and VOD release before streaming on Netflix in 2020. It stars Nicole Bloom as Sarah, a young aspiring costume designer who moves to a one-bedroom apartment in LA, completely unaware of the fact that her neighbors belong to a cult-like community. Although she successfully leaves behind a painful past and rejoices over the fact that she scored the perfect Hollywood apartment, Sarah later realizes what lies ahead of her is more horrifying than anything she had experienced before. With a rating of 86% on Rotten Tomatoes, 1BR was praised for its exceptional direction, intriguing ideas, and an effective blend of horror and thoughtful drama. This explains why during its first week of release, the film was among the top 10 most streamed items on Netflix, reaching as high as 5th on the site. Number 3. Alive. The 2020 South Korean zombie film holds an approval rating of 86% on Rotten Tomatoes since it's well acted, genuinely unsettling, and sometimes even slightly funny, proving that the crowded zombie genre has still fresh stories to tell. The film was released in South Korea on 24 June 2020 and globally via Netflix on 8 September this year. It narrates the struggle for survival of a video game streamer when he's forced to stay alone at his apartment during a zombie apocalypse that leaves the entire city in ungovernable chaos. Just 2 days after its release on the streaming service, Alive topped the Netflix daily chart in 35 countries, including the US, France, Spain, and Australia. According to reviews given by critics, the entertaining zombie flick seems tailor-made for the first time of coronavirus and offers a narrative that's uniquely horrifying. Number 2. Vampires vs. the Bronx. An excellent addition to the comedy horror films available on the streaming giant, Vampires vs. the Bronx frames the tried and true trope of vampires as an evil invading force and applies it to a modern topic, gentrification. The film was released on Netflix on October 2nd in 2020, proving to be a fun, creepy, and exciting Halloween treat that's quite original as well as unique. It follows a group of kids just trying to live their own lives, except for Miguel Martinez, also known as Lil Mir. Miguel tries to save the local bodega, which is fighting off rising rent prices. All the while, vampires are actually the ones behind family-owned businesses being bought out. The film received an 88% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, where critics have reviewed it as a sharp, socially conscious battle of vampires versus Bronx, in which comedy and horror blend brilliantly. Truly worth a watch, this is a vampire movie where it's not just the blood that's being sucked out, but the life of an entire neighborhood. Number 1. His House. Rightfully securing the number 1 place on the list, His House narrates the tale of a young refugee couple from war-torn South Sudan, struggling to adjust to a completely new life in an English hometown that has an evil lurking beneath the surface. The horror thriller had its world premiere at the Sundance Film Festival in January 2020, and after Netflix acquired distribution rights, it was released on the streaming site on 30th October 2020, featuring genuine scares through every corridor. His House makes a stunning feature debut for Remy Weeks and hence achieved an approval rating of an incredibly rare 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Needless to say, this exceptional film truly makes for worth-watching popcorn horror. It's safe to say that these top 10 new Netflix scary movies can easily get the audience's heart racing, as some of them have even broken new ground and bones for the genre. This brings us to the end of our video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, then let us know by liking the video. Stick around for more amazing content, as we will be soon seeing you in another video. Until then, take care and goodbye.